If you know the Jehovah's Witness organization, you know that they want you to become indoctrinated as soon as you can, as early as you can, from children all the way up to an adult. No matter when you study, they want you to have these beliefs instilled in you as early as possible. So that is why they've come up with this series called Become Jehovah's Friend, which is made for young witness children, young teens, kids, preteens, to have not just basic things taught to them, like don't steal, don't lie, don't be rude, but also lessons like preaching and praying, pray the evil away, and holidays and things that aren't necessarily accurate, and are only apply to Jehovah's Witnesses. A lot of times, these are videos that in the ministry, many witnesses use these videos like you'll be preaching at the doorstep, and then the householder will have a child, and you'll say, "Oh, what a lovely child! Can I show you this video?" It's about it. It's in series called "The Tom Jehovah's Friend," and it has to do with Caleb and his sister Sophia, and it's like good little things, and they're all Bible based. And a lot of times, the householder will say, "Sure, why not?" If they're interested, or heck, even if the nine just to get you off their back. So they'll watch this, and then there's one or two that are pretty secular, but they still learn these beliefs. It's all still coming from the organization. It's all Jehovah's Witness propaganda that gets them to believe in what they believe in, not necessarily a correct translation, or I'm sorry, a correct interpretation rather of the scriptures. It is their interpretation. So very dangerous. You're walking on thin ice when it comes to this information. Children beware. This is not necessarily stuff you want to watch and become indoctrinated into, simply because it doesn't apply to all children. These are not like some of these things like birthdays and these are not all good lessons. Okay, so use some critical thinking before you start watching these things. And I say that they want witnesses, Jehovah's Witnesses want people to become indoctrinated as early as possible, because then they start with certain core beliefs, and little by little, it becomes more extreme. If Jehovah's Witnesses were being honest to the householder, they would go be, upfront with their beliefs and tell them, hey, we believe that, uh, that holidays are evil, that birthdays are bad, that you shouldn't celebrate birthdays, and then it get even more extreme until we believe only 144,000 people are going to go to heaven, and then we're going to have to bury the bodies in paradise. There's a lot of beliefs that witnesses believe in that are not necessarily backed up in the Bible, necessarily speaking. Anyways, the farther you get into the study, you start with something simple. More and more you get into these crazy doctrinal beliefs. So, I mean, using that logic, the children are the same way. They have these little lessons that are really basic, and then little by little, they go into more extreme things. So we're gonna watch this video. It's really short. Hopefully, this video is long. Um, don't give up. Again, become Jehovah's friend. We're going to see, a little bit about this door-to-door ministry stuff, and how it actually, like, a pretty accurate, I think, accurate representation of how it kind of is as a child growing up in the society. So we're going to see. Don't give up. Let's see.
Hi, I'm Sophia. I have a great video about God's promise for the earth.
Oh, sweetheart, thank you. I'm not interested.
Now, you have no idea, as a child, what this does to you, what this does to your psyche. As a child growing up in the organization, you believe that you have the truth. One of the core beliefs is that Jesus was persecuted and you will be persecuted. So if Jesus was persecuted for doing what was right, and here I am being persecuted, then I must also be doing what is right. And, you know, try explaining that to a child. Try explaining that just because you're persecuted doesn't mean you have the correct beliefs. You know who was persecuted? The Jews, Muslims, Mormons. Many religions are persecuted in a sense, some more extreme than others, and more than Jehovah's Witnesses. Doesn't mean they're all right. So this only further brings you down the rabbit hole of confirming your beliefs that you have what is right. Because here I am, I'm trying to give you a message that you're about to die in the horror of Armageddon. The Great Tribulation is coming, but you're not listening. Obviously, I'm doing what is right. I'm doing what Jesus told me to do. Jesus said, go and preach the good news of God's kingdom. Here I am. You don't want to listen. You don't want to watch a video. So explain that to a child. Explain that to a kid who is brought up in this. They don't have a choice into believing or not. There is no choice. They're forced to do this. In a sense, it's sort of like child labor. They don't really have an option. They just have to. Of course, that's a bit, extreme to say it's child labor, but in a sense, it is. When I was a kid, I would have much rather played Spyro the Dragon, Sly Cooper, play video games, watch anime, watch TV. But no, I had to go out my Saturday mornings and occasionally Sundays after the meeting, or before the meeting, depending on where my meeting, what time I fell on. I had to go and preach, door to door, letter writing, and just later, cardboard listen. Let's keep watching.
And you can read the Bible and watch videos.
Really busy, kid.
Okay, so I'm gonna. This is an example here. Okay, again, very subtle, very subtle, and it's amazing the things that you notice. When you take a step back from this stuff, um, the amount of indoctrination, really like a dog whistle in a sense. Like, okay, so here you do his presentation with a contact card, which are these little cards that basically direct you to the jw.org website. So take a look at the
Read
householder.
the Bible and watch videos.
Really?
Okay, your beard, tattoo, big old gun. You see what they do here, right? They have these preconceived notions of how householders are. If they don't listen, they must be this biker, gangster, violent guy. And in a video before, we talked about how the organization also uses the worst examples. These are things that they push onto the witnesses to make you feel it's like us versus them. Of course, as child, it can be intimidating to see a big man or a big person, whatever, with a big old beard and maybe tats, bikes. Maybe they got a gruffy voice like his band does. It's intimidating as a child. But if you got to preach to yeah, not much of a choice. You're forced to. But again, when you see that person saying no at the door, which more likely than not, the success rate of you going to the door is like close to zero. Um, that's going to only confirm what you see in the watchtowers and in the videos. Like these people that you see, once they change their lives, these are all bad people. These are people that are not going to accept God's message. So, let's keep moving.
Busy, kid.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You would go door to door to door. Sometimes, depending on if you're with another person, you had somebody younger, you could knock on friggin' the whole territory in one day. Or sometimes you would only knock on a few and then do some repairs, do some calls. I honestly liked going with older brothers and sisters, ones that weren't as zealous as some of the other people were. That way I could relax in between doors. That was my favorite. So, anyways, we see here, it really is disheartening. It's very like makes you feel like deranged, just like Caleb and Sophia are like, can we just go home now? Can we take a break? So see how they act.
Can we take a break?
There you go, like I said.
A break already?
So the parents are like, a break already? He takes a look at the clock. I think it said 10 o'clock. They give these kids the side eye like it is. Yeah, okay. These are children, okay? They don't have the longest attention span, and you're making them preach about this message that they don't even really fully understand. What these children do not fully comprehend the ramification of the message that they that they preach. Just to be honest, they don't fully understand it. They can say that, but they don't know. You, the child, have no grasp on the weight of that message. But you, as a parent, or witness parent, rather, you make your child go door to door and ruin their freaking childhood with this stuff. Of course, you want to take a break. I would want to take a break too.
A break might be nice.
Yes, it would be nice. Let the kids have a break. They're not made to go door to door preaching. Did children in Jesus' time go door to door preaching against their will? I don't know.
But before we go, do you remember when Jesus preached? Did everybody listen to him?
No. So, why didn't Jesus give up?
Because he wanted everyone to hear the good news.
That's right. So, how about we each try another house?
So you see, they spin it around. Again, it's us versus them. Jesus did it. We have to do it. Knowing full well there's a lot of missed context there. Jesus was, supposedly Son of God, had a perfect message. You were just some kids, okay? If Jesus was on earth, he would not be a Jehovah's Witness. I think he would try to tear down the organization, honestly. I don't believe there's any religion on earth that has the intended message that Jesus meant. Certainly not to Jehovah's Witnesses, and certainly not under the direction of the governing body and the faithful of the sweet sleep. These poor children having to preach. My gosh, what a complex you give them growing up. Okay, now this kid is from earlier episodes. You see him; he's a recurring character. I can't forget his name. I'm sure we're gonna hear it in a second. But this kid is like a bully character from school, or like a mean kid kind of thing. His shirt is like a frowny face or something. You'll see. Uh, I remember going door to door and preaching, and then I'd meet a student from school, and I was petrified. I did not want to talk to that kid. I wanted to like just eat out of there, rather, to skedaddle. But I had to talk to these kids against my will. It's borderline traumatizing. It's like, geez, I get bullied at school for my beliefs and I have to go here and try to talk to them about this? Oh God. And this was back in the days where we didn't have these nice little contact cards. We had the old school little rectangle tracks that folded into three.
Oh, hi, Chuck.
And of course the kid's name is Chuck. Caleb, that paused it perfectly where Caleb looks like he's just yeeted, am I right? So that's it. These videos, how could you go door to door and then you give them the whole spiel about how these videos are good for kids? You show them this video. This doesn't apply to them. This is purely for witness children in the middle of the indoctrination cycle. They're probably doing regular Bible studies or family studies, family worship rather. Um, they're probably way too far down the rabbit hole to be convinced otherwise. It's very dangerous to have your children indoctrinated at such an early age. They don't have a choice. There's not a choice if you push them towards one way. You should, as a parent, let the child may come to their own decisions, especially when it's something as serious as religion and beliefs. Of course, there's some core fundamental beliefs that most religions and most, not everybody has, like don't steal, don't lie, be a good person, right? But then there's some stuff that are left up to interpretation as an individual, that you showing these videos are always steering them towards one way and not letting the child come up to their own conclusions. So yes, these videos are harmful for children, and it just shows how early they want to get you started in the whole indoctrination process as witness parents. If you are a Jehovah's Witness, please do some research on this harmful organization. You might not believe it's a cult, but Google the Bible model. Google what is a cult. Google are Jehovah's Witnesses a cult? And you will see that literally every marker of a cult the Jehovah's Witness organization builds. That is no coincidence, my friends. No coincidence. Do your research. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I do apologize. Last week I couldn't make a video. Again, life comes in the way sometimes. This is just a hobby for me. But again, this is a open forum and or open forum. Please leave your comments and messages below. Try to be positive if you can. I'm not saying like the video. If you didn't like it, dislike it. But if you liked it, like it. But try to not hurt each other with words is what I'm saying. Try to be respectful of other people's beliefs. Try to understand that, like me and many others, we are PMOs in this forum, open forum of a website, YouTube. So as PMOs, we can't do certain things right off the bat. I would love to just turn in my letter of disassociation right now if I could. Call the brother on speed dial and tell him, hey, I no longer want to be a Jehovah's Witness. I don't believe in it. Give him my reasons. Then I can't. I worry about my family. I worry about my friends. I worry about my loved ones that are still in the organization and still under this terrible, terrible religion goal. So I worry about them. And for them, I stay, but I still have a foot out. They know where I stand. So I'm on thin ice. But it doesn't mean it's impossible for the future for the situation to change. And many other people are just in that same situation like I am. So please try to understand where we stand. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like it. Hit comment below your thoughts, opinions. And again, don't forget to check out my Twitter. The link will be in the description down below. And so will a link to this video so you can analyze and see for yourself. Thank you guys for watching. Take care.